Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear students, to another session in Level 0, the basic course on everything you need to know about the Arabic letters. Today we are with the letter Ha. Okay. Now this letter, again, you can pronounce it with a Hamza at the end or without a Hamza at the end. So we can say Ha or Ha. Ha or Ha. Now there is no English equivalent to this letter. There is no English equivalent to this letter. Some people, they put KHA, KHA, but KHA is not pronounced in the English language, right? So we rather avoid that than to confuse the sound. The better thing to do is to find out where the letter comes out from, and then we can perfect our recitation or our pronunciation of this letter. So this letter, as you can see in the picture, comes from Jadhrul Lisan, which is a root of the tongue. Front part of the tongue, middle of the tongue, back of the tongue, root of the tongue. Now, root of the tongue, as you can see, is raised against, right? So we have Jadhrul Lisan against Al-Hanak Al-Lahmi. Al-Hanak Al-Lahmi, which is the soft palate. We have the bony palate, and then we go back, we have the meaty palate in the back, as you can see in the picture. This letter comes from between the root of the tongue against the soft palate. So there's space, as you can see, there's space in between. So the letter comes out softly, right, and not hard. It comes out softly, inshallah ta'ala. So this is Ha, Ha, Ha. And with the kasra, Khi, Khi. Dhamma, Hu, Hu, right? Some people make it very tough until it produces a cracking sound like this. This is too much, right? Keep it soft. Ha, Ha. Now, this letter is a heavy letter. It is not a light letter. In some of the Arabic dialects, in some countries, Arab countries, they pronounce it light. They say kha, kha, kha. So they say Khalid, Khalid, Khalid. But in reality, in classical Arabic, in Quran, it would be kha, 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 Khalid. Okay? So this is an important point to remember, inshallah. A lot of people, some people, they might also pronounce it very tough until it becomes like qa. They say Khalid, qa, Khalid, Khalid. This is no good. There's no contact between Jadhrul Lisan, the root of the tongue, and the soft palate. If you connect it, then of course it's going to produce a strong sound. No, this space. As you can see, air is passing through it. Yes, they're very close, but air is passing through it softly. Okay? So, for example, Allah says, Min sharril waswasil khannas. 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 And Min sharri ma khalaq. 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 Inshallah, if it gets a little bit stronger, hopefully there's no problem with it, but again, don't let it get too strong as is. No. Min sharri ma khalaq, right? Min sharri al-waswasil khannas. Now this letter, when it has a kasra, right, like kha, khi, hu, khi, then it will be the lowest level of heaviness, and it is called at-tafkhim al-nisbi, meaning it is heard as a light letter. Okay, so khi, right? We say hui, we say khi. Okay. Now this is from حروف الرخاوة, and it is also from حروف الهمز, and it is also from حروف الاستعلاء. So where does the heaviness come from? This is the question. Does the letter just where does that heaviness come from? Okay. Now if you look at the back of the tongue here, as you can see, the back of the tongue is raised to the place to a place of kha, and that is important. That's where the heaviness comes from, because when you raise the tongue, it is making now this cavity in the mouth. As you can see, this cavity in the mouth. Now the sound bounces around inside, right, creating an echo. Okay, creating an echo, and that is where the heaviness comes from. Now look at me and hear me pronouncing this letter, once without raising the back of the tongue, and once by raising the back of the tongue. Once without, once with. Okay, look at this. First I'm gonna say the letter by not raising the tongue. So kha, 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 Now hear the sound with me raising the back of the tongue. Kha, kha, kha. So the back of the tongue remains yani musta'lin. It remains raised, right? Now hear both of these sounds without raising and with raising. Look at this. I'm going to say both. I'm going to start by saying the sound without raising the tongue. And then I'm going to raise the tongue as I'm saying the sound. Ready? Now, without raising the tongue. Kha, kha. You see, when I raise the tongue, then it creates that pocket and becomes more heavier. It becomes heavier. So, kha, kha. So look, kha. That's not heavy. That's not heavy, right? You're just making a difference between a and ah. No, it's not ah. It's oh, oh, oh. So don't say kha, kha, Khalid. No, kha, Khalid, kha. Raise the back of the tongue to the place of that place, right? So say when the tongue is raised there, keep it there. So kha, kha, kha. Other says وأخرجت الأرض أخرج. And also مخلصين, right? وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين. Heavy letter, inshallah. Okay, so we learned the name of the letter, and we found out that it is a heavy letter coming from the root of the tongue against the soft palate. But because the sound is there in the beginning of the throat, we say it comes from the upper throat. And we also learned that this letter, when it has a kasra, it is heard as a light letter. It has a light sound, and it is also a soft letter, so it should come out softly. And it is hams, comes out with air, and is also isti'la, حروف الاستعلاء, حرف الاستعلاء, meaning the back of the tongue will be raised, inshallah. This is it for the letter kha, kha. So there is no English equivalent to this. We'll see you in the next session with another letter of the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.